Ever since the teaser trailer, well, actually long before that, people have been making prediction videos about what they think Dragon Age 4 will be like, will be named, pick something, and people will have made a prediction. I occasionally gave my opinion on the matter here and there, but I never felt the need to dedicate an entire video towards it, and to be fair, I technically still don't, but I'm making one anyway just so I can either make fun of myself later on for being horribly wrong, or look at everyone and shout, "Called it!" So here goes. Release date. The big one. When will it be out? Let's have a look at BioWare's release schedule. For the sake of time, I'll only include the Mass Effect and Dragon Age franchises, as well as Anthem, and to skip the days, only focusing on months and years. So, spotting a bit of a pattern here. Based on the evidence at hand, my assumption is that Dragon Age 4 will release somewhere in between November 2021 and March 2022. The longest period of time between two games has been Mass Effect 3 and Mass Effect Andromeda, which had almost exactly 5 years in between. Given that they worked all hands on Anthem for quite a long period, and that some pretty major people quit the company in between, and that I hope they go easier on the people that work for them, I don't think that this assumption is unrealistic. We all want Dragon Age 4 to be the best game they can possibly make, and that needs, above all, time. Title. The first one was Origins, for obvious reasons. It explored the origins of this new franchise, gave you multiple origins for your character and so on and so forth. Origins was a fitting title for the first game of a new series. The second game, which we now know by the name Dragon Age 2, was originally supposed to be called Dragon Age Exodus, which not only would have made it at least 4 times as cool, but also would have made a whole lot more sense. The entire storyline is about you and your family and thousands of refugees moving to an unfamiliar location and having to struggle for a place in this new city. The literal definition of Exodus, really. The third entry into the series, aptly titled Inquisition, also summarizes perfectly what the game is about. The formation of a literal inquisition, finding the reason behind a mysterious event, and fighting heresy in the form of demons and invading enemies. Honestly, the fact that we didn't start a holy war was more shocking than the end of the damn game. With their history of naming, Dragon Age 2 technically excluded, my best guess is that they will call it Dragon Age Downfall. It would work in many ways, depending on when the veil would come down. Should it start off with Solas tearing down the bloody thing, we would have to deal with the consequences of the downfall. Should it happen at the very end of the game, by then Solas likely did some serious damage to the world already, all leading to the downfall of the world as we know it. Or maybe it's just the downfall of the Dread Wolf. Besides that, naming it Downfall would make for the acronym DAD, which is appropriate, considering Daddy Solas is a major character in it. This and that. Will it have multiplayer? Definitely. EA is mainly concerned with one thing: money. While the game selling for $60 to $90 on release and $20 to $30 DLC later on is nice and all, the real profit margins are in selling fucking loot boxes in the multiplayer. Takes fuck all effort and makes you tons of bloody cash. Will we see Hero of Ferelden, Hawk, Inky? Inquisitors pretty much assured, given that they were the one that saw Solas last and vowed to kill or redeem him. A Hawk? Possibly. Game takes place in the Imperium, and depending on the scale of it all, we might get a visit to Weishaupt, where Hawk currently is, should they have escaped the fate. If they didn't, I'm assuming we'd either not see them at all, or find them when the veil comes down, looking at you like, fuck's sake, can't have a bloody break. Of all the people we might meet, the Hero of Ferelden is among the few I rule out entirely. Other than being dead for probably a large part of the community, they'd not only have to figure out a way for them to have about 10 different voice actors each, but also give them a unique character and mindset based on each individual choice of the player made in Dragon Age Origins. Well, that is if they want to avoid a massive shitshow by people that get way too much into their canon character. What if it sucks because XYZ? Then it does. Tough shit, nothing we can do about it. If they really pull a Game of Thrones on us and manage to completely and utterly fuck it up, we have hopefully Trevor Morris or someone equally talented to enjoy, because holy shit, the music has never disappointed. There are legitimate concerns about the quality of the next game, which I can understand. On the other hand, however, BioWare games have never completely failed in the writing department. Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem might not have been masterpieces, but they were still solid enough. Mass Effect Andromeda was also not made by BioWare proper, and Anthem is a completely new IP, so I wouldn't worry too much that the real, long-established BioWare will fuck up their most valuable brand. I could drone on here in detail about my predictions for the entire plotline of DA4, but honestly I don't see the reason behind it. Besides being an excellent topic for a podcast, shameless self-plug, it'd be speculating about a game which we don't even know the actual title of. Yes, I could draw conclusions from the last few games, but what for? There are about 1,000 possible ways they could start, let alone finish it. Why waste your and also my time on it? Will Solas be able to die? Probably. Will the Inquisitor die? Definitely, especially if they romanced Solas. Will there be a Dragon Age 5? Maybe. Depends on how the DLCs end. What will I do until then? Wait, just like the rest of us. You could also check out all of these amazing people, which you probably already know, to be perfectly honest. Listen to some podcasts. There are some excellent ones out there about all sorts of DA topics. Split the Veil by Katie and Jordan, Tinfoil Tea Party by Saria and Jackdaw. You can even find me on one of the episodes. Not sure why you would want to though. Harold's Rest, made by Jamie and this idiot. Watch videos, play the games again, listen to the music, look at El's cursed bullshit. There is tons of stuff you can do, and you'll be able to do plenty of that, because one thing is certain. It'll be quite some time before the next game.